Would you go to 154 for that?
Whatever weight you want.
Bro, that'd be interesting. That's an interesting fight, bro. Ew, I know my boxing. I do. That's interesting, bro. That's crazy.
That's an easier fight than Devin.
Bro, that's going to be interesting.
I'm going to knock Errol Spence out within 3 rounds.
Errol Spence has finally responded to Ryan Garcia's fight offer, giving him a savage reply. It all started when Garcia tweeted a fight poster of himself and Spence. Although it is not an official fight announcement, Garcia said, "Bye-bye, Spence. August 10th, Dallas Cowboys Stadium. Sell out, crowd." Meanwhile, boxing expert Dan Rafael has stated that Ryan Garcia's lab results for his April 19th urine sample test have been returned, and they did not confirm the existence of the banned chemical. He confirmed that Ryan still tests positive for the banned substance ostarine, but not for 19-norandrosterone. Rafael saw this as a positive development for Ryan, since it reduces the number of banned substances he's tested positive for. He tweeted, "The urine sample Ryan Garcia provided April 19 that was positive for ostarine, but also showed banned PED-19 norandrosterone needed more testing to confirm. That's done." Per the lab report sent to VADA, which I've obtained, it did not confirm. There is no third test failure. However, Ryan will still face repercussions for his 2 positive tests for the prohibited PED ostarine, but the consequences won't be as severe compared to if the other PED-19 norandrosterone were also present. Rafael further said that according to VADA, Ryan Garcia's B samples from his 2 tests on April 19th and 20 that were positive for ostarine will be examined on May 22nd. A representative from Ryan can be present to make sure it's all on the up and up. He tweeted, "Per VADA report that I have obtained the B samples for Ryan Garcia's 2 positive ostarine tests from April 19th and April 20 are scheduled to be opened on May 22 and tested. He is allowed to have a representative observe to make sure it's all on the up and up. The lack of confirmation regarding the presence of 19-norandrosterone diminishes the accusations against Garcia. However, he remains under scrutiny with 2 confirmed positive tests for the banned substance ostarine. Depending on the B sample results, he could face consequences for this violation." In a recent interview, Ryan announced that he will have his supplements examined to see whether any of them included the substance that he tested positive for on April 19th and 20. Consistently proclaiming his innocence, Garcia suggested any ingestion of the substances in question may have been inadvertent, possibly due to tainted food. One of Ryan's staunch defenders amidst this scandal has been none other than Gervonta Davis, his former opponent in the ring. Despite their past clash, Tank has consistently voiced his disbelief that Ryan Garcia would intentionally use a prohibited substance. On the X platform, he even defended Ryan from Claressa Shields' attacks. Tank tweeted, "So Ryan beat Buddy fair and square. What does the French bulldog face lady, Claressa Shields, have to say about this? And she blocked me. I should have blocked her for the way she looks. Her scares me." Meanwhile, Joe Rogan recently recounted to Max Holloway the skepticism surrounding Ryan Garcia prior to his bout with Devin Haney. Many pundits predicted the 25-year-old would falter against The Dream. Yet, King Rye defied expectations, enabling Joe Rogan to retort to those critics with authority. The 56-year-old JRE anchor asserts that although it's common for experts to have a preference before a fight, it's difficult to foresee the result. Joe Rogan expressed that there were individuals who had opinions about predicting the future, like predicting the Garcia and Haney fight, which he found unwise. He emphasized the unpredictability of events and suggested focusing instead on assessing someone's skills and potential factors that could influence outcomes.
It's going to happen. It's such a stupid thing to do. You don't know what's going to happen. You could talk about someone's strengths.
Opinion, yeah. You can talk about, you can have an opinion, but when people say stuff like that, I'm like, bro, that's crazy.
It's just dumb. It's just dumb. You know, you should talk about someone's skills and what they can do, and this could be a factor, and that could be a factor. But to say, this is going to happen, that is folly. That's a stupid way to look at things. There's not a chance in hell that you know when 2 world-class...
Holloway, the current BMF champion, appeared to concur with the assertions as well. The 32-year-old made note of the fact that prior to his bout with Justin Gaethje, he was practically a zero. Rogan further asserted that such a perspective was foolish, particularly in the context of evaluating competitions between top-tier athletes. He cited the recent bout between Devin and Ryan as an example, where many individuals prematurely discounted Ryan's chances of success.
World-class martial artist fight.
Yeah,
there's no chance.
All the time.
Yeah, there's no chance, you know. I saw a lot of people doing that with the fight this past weekend with Devin Haney.
Oh, yeah, Ryan, yeah.
Everybody was counting out Ryan Garcia. So many people.
Oh, did you see how much he bet on himself?
$2 million. He
won $2 million. Can we do that on ourselves?
What did he win? How much did he win?
$12 million.
Ryan Garcia astounded spectators with his remarkable performance against Haney. Despite being labeled a plus 500 underdog by some sources, with Haney touted as a minus 800 favorite, Garcia delivered a commanding display. He knocked down the super lightweight champion 3 times, dealing Haney his inaugural professional loss. The anticipation leading up to Garcia's bout with Haney was rife with skepticism about his mindset, fueled by his social media behavior and apparent disregard for weight requirements. Predictably, the odds leaned in Haney's favor. However, amidst the doubt, one individual remained steadfast in Garcia's corner. 3-weight world champion Shane Mosley offered Garcia some valuable advice before the fight, pinpointing his weak footwork as an area needing improvement. Mosley said, "This fight is going to come down to how good your footwork is. That doesn't mean moving away from him. It means being explosive front and back, side to side to land your power punches. You are quicker than him, but his feet might be a little quicker. Work on that fast twitch muscle, you will be happy." The true surprise, though, was how boisterous Garcia was on fight night. It appears that Garcia beat Haney after listening to Mosley. The true surprise, though, was that the boxing sensation was once again on the receiving end following a positive PED test. This raises the question of how Rogan will handle the current circumstances. But this is the initial instance of Rogan standing up for the 25-year-old. In his previous bout, Garcia faced a setback against Gervonta Davis, drawing criticism for his performance. Nonetheless, Rogan remained steadfast in his support defending Garcia against the majority of detractors. When Ryan Garcia faced off against Gervonta, numerous observers believed the matchup was lopsided. Experts anticipated that Davis's formidable power would overwhelm Garcia. True to predictions, Garcia succumbed to a forceful body shot in the 7th round, solidifying the perception of a mismatch. The aftermath saw a barrage of criticism aimed at Garcia's boxing prowess. Yet, amidst the backlash, Rogan stood by the young fighter, offering his analysis of the bout in the JRE MMA show. Legendary UFC fighter Bas Rutten was brought to Rogan's show, where he clarified why liver shots have the greatest effect. "The liver's awful," he remarked. He went on to say that the majority of the supporters had chastised Garcia for losing the fight and had told them to at least enter the ring once. Rogan said, "Oh my god, people were saying when Ryan Garcia went down against Tank Davis, and people were saying like he quit. Like, have you ever been hit there before?" Meanwhile, Eddie Hearn, the promoter of Devon, claims that his boxer is taking his defeat by Ryan Garcia very badly and is not happy that Ryan tested positive and weighed 3.2 pounds more than he should have. Hearn is advocating for Haney's defeat to be nullified should the investigation into his 2 failed PED tests for Osterine confirm its presence in his system. On the night of the April 20th fight, he asserts that Haney seeks Ryan's disqualification for that bout. Hearn said, "A failure is a failure. He still failed 2 drug tests and had performance-enhancing drugs in his system when he fought Devin Haney." As mentioned before, Haney will have to await the results of Ryan's B-sample test on May 22nd. If it comes back clear, he'll simply have to concede that he was defeated by the superior fighter. Despite his grievances over Ryan being 3.2 pounds overweight at the weigh-in, he did agree to the $1.5 million weight bet. If Haney had any concerns about him being a little overweight at the weigh-in, he could have called the fight so that money should have been sufficient to appease him. Talking about how well Haney is dealing with his loss, Hearn said, "I think he wants a disqualification. He's not good, but he wasn't good in the first place. This is a kid who dedicates his life to the sport. When he got beat, it was a really tough pill to swallow." Hearn contributed by expressing his opinion that Devon's performance during the match was not up to par. However, he mentioned that Devon seemed somewhat puzzled by his loss and speculated about the potential factors contributing to it, including Ryan's weight advantage and the presence of the performance-enhancing substance in Ryan's system. Hearn added, "I don't think Devon performed very well on the night. He was still a little bit baffled that he lost." Now in his head, how much did the extra weight and how much did the performance-enhancing drugs that were found, how much did that affect what happened that night? However, Haney won't reap any benefits from Ryan's disqualification and the removal of his loss from the record. The boxing community witnessed the events of that night, and restoring Haney's record to its prior state won't erase those memories. The battle demonstrated Haney's poor punch resistance and lack of punching power. Haney will have serious problems against a guy who weighs 140 pounds. But Hearn added, in his head, it's a little bit of a comfort that it wasn't an even playing field. And let's be honest, one thing is for sure, it wasn't an even playing field. Even if you're the biggest fighter in the world, you have to acknowledge that. But it appears that Haney isn't deluding himself about the outcome. He recognizes he was outclassed and laid bare by Ryan. The looming concern for him now is the uncertainty of his future post-fight, with formidable contenders at 140, undoubtedly eager to capitalize on his vulnerability, picking up where Ryan Garcia left off. Avoiding them indefinitely won't be an option for Haney. According to Hearn, with the failed tests, he took a lot of punishment that night. I think if you go through that kind of punishment and someone fails those tests, he's taking it extremely personally, to the point where I don't even know if he would want to fight Ryan again. If Haney's primary concern is money, then he should pursue a rematch with Ryan. Facing Isaac Cruz, Teofimo Lopez, or Subriel Matias won't yield the same financial rewards. matches. Moreover, they might prove too formidable for Haney, potentially spelling the end of his career. But Hearn added, "He's actually said to me, I could have lost my life there. That's why it's important to go through this process. If a fighter has gone through this to do that, that's a whole another ballgame." Hearn further added, "If you did that deliberately, and you have a fighter like Devin Haney saying, I could have lost my life in there. I wasn't going to quit, and he was taking a beating at times. I think he's taking it very badly and personally." On the other hand, in a candid confession during his appearance on the Fully Tilted podcast, Ryan Garcia openly disclosed his unconventional pre-fight ritual. He revealed that prior to his bout against Devin Haney, he indulged in several days of marijuana and alcohol consumption. Garcia's intention was to assert his dominance over his opponent, culminating in a bold declaration as he concluded his statement. "And yet, I flew in there and kicked his ass. It was a walk in the park. I had tougher fights in sparring," said Garcia, who was hell-bent on burying his boxing career. Despite Garcia's persistent denial of doping allegations, his victory remains shrouded in controversy, further obscured by his own words and actions. Even the eventual unveiling of the B sample may not suffice to cleanse the stain cast upon his reputation. With each word or action from Garcia, Haney swiftly counters, making this encounter no different. The San Francisco native wasted no time in retorting to Garcia's provocation with a quick and assertive response. "I'm not surprised you drank and smoked and knew you were also taking performance-enhancing drugs, or maybe you're trolling again," allegedly, said Haney. He further added, "You don't test positive twice by accident, for two different things." Now the breaking news is that Ryan Garcia and Errol Spence engaged in a hostile social media exchange recently after Spence ruled out fighting him. In response to a question from a fan on social media, Spence said he doesn't take tune-ups and ruled out facing Ryan Garcia. Spence tweeted, "I'll legit beat his ass at the AT&T Stadium at 154 to 160 off the strength of him testing positive, but I don't take tune-ups." Spence's comment revealed a sense of superiority over Ryan, despite his recent setback, a crushing defeat by Terrence Crawford in the 9th round last summer, earning him the label of washed up among fans. The defeat served as a rude awakening, reshaping perceptions of Spence's prowess in the ring. Meanwhile, Ryan replied, "Please, let's run it. I will gladly destroy you and finish the job. Crawford almost did. I will finish the job." Rather than seizing the opportunity Ryan presents, Errol remains tethered to bygone glory days, convinced he still reigns supreme in the welterweight division. Moreover, Ryan recently talked about this potential fight on social media.
Bro, 154, you and Errol, 154.
Bro,
Perfect.
you can't say anybody's doing it like me, bro.
Yeah, that shit's crazy.
Bro, but when I beat him, what will you say then? I don't like. What are they gonna have to say then?
Bro,
Yeah,
they're gonna
I
say
gotta
you.
quit.
They're gonna
Oh,
say
go
you cheated. They'll be so shocked again. They're gonna say you cheated again. They're gonna be really They will.
That's the funny part. But this time, I have a new plan.
What?
I'm gonna fight him. Nah, I'm not gonna say it.
Say that shit.
All right,
Say
fuck
that
it.
shit.
I'm gonna beat him on shrooms.
Holy shit, dude.
Spence appears oblivious to the dire state of his career prospects. If he grasped the gravity of the situation, he'd eagerly seize the opportunity to face Ryan and secure a substantial payday in the bargain. He remains oblivious to the gravity of his current career predicament. Were he to grasp its severity, he'd be on his knees, appealing to the cash cow, Ryan Garcia, for a lifeline to sustain him a while longer. Battling Sebastian Fundora won't yield the financial windfall he desperately needs. That matchup would merely fetch crumbs compared to the lucrative purse, awaiting him in a showdown with Ryan. However, Ryan Garcia's call out of Errol Spence for a fight drew a swift and fiery response from Spence himself. In a series of tweets, Spence didn't hold back, casting doubt on Garcia's fighting spirit and questioning his resolve in the ring. Spence said, "Tank didn't get to finish you because you quit like a hoe like we knew you would do. Go find someone to play with." Spence's first tweet cut straight to the point, accusing Garcia of quitting during his bout with Gervonta Tank Davis, insinuating that Garcia's alleged quit was anticipated. This direct jab at Garcia's character set the tone for Spence's subsequent responses. He tweeted again, "Go find someone to play with. Stop letting this boy get a pass like we don't remember you taking a knee and getting up at 10. Coward as f." Continuing his onslaught, Spence dismissed Garcia's challenge, advising him to go find someone to play with. He further berated Garcia, recalling the moment when Garcia took a knee and seemingly quit during a fight, branding him as a coward. Spence's choice of words didn't mince any punches, underscoring his contempt for Garcia's perceived lack of resilience. In another tweet, Spence went on to diminish Garcia's boxing credentials, labeling him as a tune-up and questioning his achievements in the ring. Spence raised doubts about Garcia's record, challenging him to prove his worth by facing more formidable opponents. opponents. Additionally, Spence criticized Garcia's coach, implying that Garcia required persistent coaxing to train adequately, further undermining Garcia's credibility as a serious contender. Spence said, "That is a tune-up. What has he done, and who did he beat without it being a problem, lol. I had to consistently ask his coach for weeks to train the lame." Overall, Spence's scathing retorts to Garcia's call-out not only rejected the challenge, but also called into question Garcia's courage, commitment, and capabilities as a professional boxer. This exchange adds fuel to the ongoing drama and rivalry within the boxing community, leaving fans eagerly anticipating any potential future clashes between the two fighters. But Ryan Garcia's relentless pursuit of a showdown with Errol Spence Jr. escalated into a full-blown social media feud. In a series of tweets, Garcia didn't hold back, launching scathing verbal attacks on Spence, while simultaneously challenging him to step into the ring. Garcia's first tweet took aim at Spence's personal life, hurling insults and threatening to steal Spence's significant other. This provocative language set the tone for Garcia's subsequent tweets as he continued to ramp up the intensity of his rhetoric. Ryan tweeted, "You before I steal your girl bit. Payback Derek Ho. That's how I'm coming." In his next tweet, Garcia issued a bold prediction, claiming that he would deliver such a devastating blow to Spence that he would be left cross-eyed for life. This audacious statement showcased Garcia's unwavering confidence in his punching power and ability to dominate his opponents. He added, "I will hit Errol so hard he will be cross-eyed for the rest of his life. He will be wondering where he is at, even though GPS is telling him you have arrived. I will end Errol Spence." Continuing his tirade, Garcia taunted Spence for his perceived inaction in response to his callouts. He challenged Spence to step up and face him in the ring, accusing Spence of cowardice for failing to accept the challenge. He said, "Let's see this next move. Won't do shit. I DM'd his girl, and he didn't do anything. I'm calling him out, and there's no offer." Errol Spence, "I welcome the challenge at a 160, Ryan Garcia's." Social media onslaught didn't stop there. He went as far as directly addressing Spence's girlfriend in a tweet, insinuating that Spence wasn't treating her right and expressing affection towards her. Ryan said, "Errol Spence girl, what's up, baby? I know he ain't treating you right. I love you." This move added a personal dimension to the feud, intensifying the animosity between the two fighters. In another tweet, Garcia shared an image of Spence taking a punch during a fight, juxtaposing it with his own record. This tactic aimed to undermine Spence's credibility as a formidable opponent while bolstering Garcia's image as an iconic fighter. Garcia said, "One thing we do know is I've never looked like this. It is giving Goonies. I'm screaming." Finally, Garcia revealed his intention to formalize the challenge by authorizing his lawyer to send an offer to Spence. He said, "I have authorized my lawyer to send Errol Spence an offer. Let's go start the rumble. I give you my whole word that this is my next fight unless he runs." This declaration solidified Garcia's commitment to making the fight happen and put the ball in Spence's court to either accept or decline the challenge. Moreover, Garcia's aggressive social media campaign against Spence showcased his determination to secure a high-profile bout and cement his status as a rising star in the boxing world. The heated exchange between the two fighters generated significant buzz and anticipation among fans, leaving them eager to witness a potential showdown between Garcia and Spence in the ring.
Ryan, real quick, how's that work? Since you and Frank are cool, right? And Frank and Earl are cool.
I don't know, bro. I don't know what side he on. I don't really care.
Doesn't that make it kind of weird in the,
In the gym?
being stablemates and shit?
Nah, we cool. I mean, Errol gonna have to come see me, bro. It is what it is.
It's business, baby, right?
It's business.
Nah, AT&T Stadium would be lit. You guys both reside in Dallas. That would be lit.
If Frank beats Gervonta, I will have to fight Frank.
You gonna go to that fight, bro?
Maybe.
Meanwhile, Oscar De La Hoya, Garcia's promoter, entered the fray with a tweet affirming Garcia's readiness to face Spence. De La Hoya's statement echoed Garcia's confidence in his ability to take on the welterweight champion, further fueling speculation about a potential showdown between the two fighters. He said, "Trust me, Errol Spence does not want the smoke, Ryan Garcia." In response to the escalating tension, Shakur Stevenson weighed in with his own perspective on the matter. Stevenson expressed his disapproval of the tactics employed by Garcia and others involved in the feud, criticizing the use of personal attacks and social media drama to promote fights. He said, "When did it become cool to lie and say another man's girl is in your DMs just cause you don't fight with the I don't get in people's but bro, we got the weirdest generation ever. You all make anything cool. Stevenson's remarks underscored his commitment to integrity and professionalism in the sport, highlighting the contrast between his approach and the sensationalism permeating modern boxing. Moreover, Stevenson's tweet sparked a broader conversation about the role of authenticity and ethics in boxing promotion. He called out the trend of fabricating controversies and stirring up drama for the sake of generating hype, emphasizing his reluctance to engage in such tactics. In another tweet, Stevenson said, "So basically saying anything for clout is cool because it's promoting and selling a fight. Yeah, I probably will never be a star if I gotta do lame shit to become a star. I'm good with these M's anyway." Ultimately, the exchange between Garcia, Spence, and others shed light on the complexities of modern boxing promotion. While some fighters embrace controversy and spectacle to elevate their profiles, others prioritize authenticity and skill. Make sure to check out some of our other videos on the screen if you enjoyed this one.